Medic 40, you can cancel. Medic 40, you've been replaced.
Engine 13 is max 6, you can cancel. Engine 13 received. Canceling. Thank you.
Hey, good morning, Butterfly 71. I'm not sure what we're doing here just yet. I've got somebody in the back seat of that police car over there in handcuffs, and they are, I don't know what they're doing. I just happened to roll by this, getting ready to come on and talk to you guys. But somebody is in handcuffs over there, and there's an ambulance checking them out right now, so whatever happened, it doesn't look like it was too good. Somebody got in trouble. No telling what's going on, but am I blocking these people over here? I can't tell if I'm blocking that person or not, but this is at Peyton Gin and Lamar. We're at Peyton Gin and Lamar. But I'm blocking this driveway, so I may have to move on pretty quick. Peyton Gin and Lamar.
Control Medic 24 responding 8211 Highway 183.
Always something interesting happening up here.
Control Medic 9.
9, go ahead.
We're clearing our cardiac arrest. We're headed back to station for supplies.
Receiving a 9, clearing cardiac arrest, headed back to station for supply.
Always something interesting happening up here. So again, we're at Peyton Gin and Lamar, where the police have someone in handcuffs over there, and I guess they're having the ambulance come take a look at them for some reason. It's in the parking lot of that the Lamar Laundry. Nope, it's not. Not really, anyway. I'm gonna have to move because I'm blocking this truck right here. Am I blocking it? Yep, I'm blocking it. Alright guys, I'm gonna have to move. I'm blocking this bread truck. I'm blocking the bread truck. blocking the bread truck. Okay. Good morning, Zero Foxtrot. What's going on, my man? What is going on? All right. That's good. That's good right there. Good morning, everybody. Sorry, I was live on Citizen there, so I couldn't really talk a whole lot. So my apologies for that. Good morning, Upgrade. Good morning, Zero. Butterfly. SOSDD. What does that mean? So, Butterfly, I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to ignore you, but no, my arm's not a whole lot, but it's actually a little bit worse. I've got a huge, pocket of fluid back there now. Like, it is a big pocket of fluid. And I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure what it is, but it is not very painful anymore. It's just very swollen. I don't know what the heck is up with it. Library Fox, what's going on, my dude? Good morning from South Texas all the way to Germany. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with my elbow. It's like I said, it's not painful anymore really, but it is very swollen. So whatever that means, I don't know. Ooh, man, they got tamales for sale. Tamales and aguas frescas. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I may have to go back by there in a little bit. Really need to get to the doctor. You know, I figure the only reason I don't want to go to the doctor right now is because I'm afraid they're gonna stick a big old needle in there to drain it, and I'm not gonna appreciate that. Hell, Killer Carla is on. Killer Carla figured out this morning that these live streams are permanent. And everybody can go back and rewatch whenever they want, or new people can come on and watch. And she didn't realize that at first, and she went back and rewatched the live stream from her birthday, and yeah. Are you sure you weren't bit by? You know what? My wife thinks that I may have dislocated my elbow. I don't know. I am allergic to bee stings, and they make me swell up like I swell up massively. I don't remember ever getting bit. I don't have a bite. I don't have a mark. I'm just swollen. Fresh fried pork skin Mexican ladies make there. Yes. There's a what is the word for that? There's a word, Butterfly, the fried skins that you buy in the little Mexican grocery stores. I can't think of the name, but my wife always sends me to buy them, and they are in big ass massive sheets of pork skin. Chicharron. Yes, chicharrones. That's exactly what it is. Chicharrones. And we go to this little Mexican grocery store out up towards Leander, and we buy the chicharrones there, and it's delicious. We also buy some of the dried meat from there too. You know, like the big beef jerky. Doesn't taste like beef jerky you get at the store though. Yes, that's it, Zero. Chicharrones. Alright, let's see what we're doing this morning, guys. let's see what we're doing this morning. We have a traffic injury, hazardous condition. I'll tell you, once I'm done with the stream today, I'm going over to, well, let me just start from the beginning because not everybody follows me on X. After the stream yesterday, I went into the Walnut Creek trails over by Mopac, where the railroad tracks goes under Mopac, all the way back. I hiked about 3 miles out through there yesterday, 4 miles maybe, and I found a camp out there. And when I walked into the camp, there was an old boy sitting there with a needle in his arm. He had, I took some video. I didn't have my camera going when I walked into the camp. I don't want to make anybody feel too uncomfortable, and I don't want to get hurt. So I go in. I carry a backpack full of water and cigarettes and other stuff. That way I can hand out stuff. Makes people feel more comfortable with me being there. Anyway, long story short, I got to talking to him. He was shooting meth, is what he was shooting. And I sat and talked to him for a long time yesterday afternoon. He knows that he is dying slowly with the drugs. And he had his girlfriend there, and I talked to them about if they were ready to leave the streets. If they were ready to clean up and leave the streets. The question I asked them was, if I could get you into an inpatient rehab right now to get you detoxed and on your way to sobriety, if I could get you admitted and if I would take you there, would you do it? And we talked for a bit. I found out that this guy does have family, but his family doesn't want him around because of the drugs issues that he has and things. So, and I completely understand that. And, you know, I talked to him about how when you do start cleaning yourself up, you detox, you start thinking a little bit differently, then you can start repairing the damage you've done to your family. And I was trying to tell him that most families, once they see you making an effort to change your life and you get away from the dope, it is easier to repair that damage. So he agreed that if I could get him into a rehab, that he would go. So I started making phone calls, found a rehab in Waco that could take him. So I'm going back out there after the stream this morning, and I'm going to see if he's ready to go. And if he's ready to go, I'm going to drive him to Waco, and I'm going to get him admitted into rehab, and hopefully get him back on his way to sobriety and get him off the street. And I talked about this on X yesterday, and I had people message me. It's like, Jamie, why are you wasting your time? What are you doing? It's just one person. And you know what? It really makes me mad to hear that shit, because yes, it may just be one person, but is that one person not worth the effort? I don't care what he's done in his past. I don't care what he thinks about me. I don't care. It doesn't matter. What matters is now, and what matters is everybody deserves a chance. Everybody deserves a chance to pull themselves out of the shit. And it really upsets me to hear people say that I'm wasting my time. I'm getting very sick of hearing it, because it's not up to everybody else. It doesn't matter what everybody else thinks. I'm doing what I think is right. And as long as I'm doing what I think is right, and I'm trying to legitimately help somebody, trying to legitimately help this man pull himself out of the shit and back onto solid ground, then it's worth it. So, for anybody listening that wants to message me some, snooty, snotty comments about wasting time and this and that, put yourself into his shoes. If you fell down and you found yourself addicted to drugs and on the street, would you not want somebody to believe in you? A lot of times it takes somebody believing in you, and it takes somebody reaching down to give you a hand to pull you out of it. So, that's all I'll say about it. I will update you guys after the stream today and let you know if he decided to. You know what? It's not going to surprise me one bit that if I walk back into his camp and he's either not there or he doesn't want to go. Nothing surprises me anymore. But the fact is, I'm going to try to give him a chance. That may be what it takes this one time that you... And exactly, it sometimes it just takes somebody showing that they care. These folks on the street, believe me, when I was on the street, people would look at me like I am a, subhuman. And that's what they get used to. They get used to people looking at them that way. And sometimes it takes somebody looking at them, and treating him. So when I'm talking to these guys, I try to show as much respect as possible, and I try to show them that they are a man, and I try to treat them like a man, and instead of being degrading and talking down. So it is what it is. We'll see what happens. Like I said, it wouldn't surprise me not one bit if I went back out there and he's just, not wanting to go. Wouldn't surprise me at all. But yeah. So we'll see what happens. Say a prayer for him, honestly, that he has the strength to do this. Zero, the issue exists because everyone else is doing what they do. Nothing. Yeah, and people give up on humanity. And no matter where you're at in your life, no matter what you've done, no matter what you're doing, no matter what drugs you're doing, I still believe that most people have good in them. Has the power to save the world. We down here can only ever save individuals. And that's true. I get it. There's nonprofits out here that have the funding and the ability to help people in mass numbers. But I don't have that ability. I don't have that funding. I don't have the people. I don't, But until we get to that point, I'm still going to do what I can do. And you can't save the world by yourself, but you can definitely help. So check this out. There is a saying I read in a book one time. Do you guys know who Michael Connelly is? He is an author, Michael Connelly. And he, in a book that he wrote, I read a lot. My mom's on here. She knows how much I read, but I read a lot. And there was a part in one of his books that he wrote that said, when in life, when we get to the end of our road. So let me rephrase that. Way back in the day, before we had all of this technology and we had, we're living the way we're living today. Back then, communities worked together. Communities helped each other, and they would during the summer times, in the months that the weather was good, they would chop wood and put it into the community wood pile. They had a massive community wood pile, right? And that's what they did. Everybody would chop wood and add to the pile. That way, during the winter time, you could go and take the wood from the pile and use it to stay warm. And he had a quote in that book that said, when we get to the end of our road, at the end of our life, when we get to the end of the road, you got to take a look at your life. And you have to, you got to look and decide if you have added to the pile or if you just took from it. Did you just spend your life taking, or did you add wood to the pile? And so I want my kids to understand that, and I want my kids to understand that you've got to add to the pile. You've got to help your community. And when I get to the end of my road, I want to make sure that I can say that I added to the pile and I didn't take away from it. No organization can save people, though. It's always humans. You're right. You don't know people. They don't know you. The reason for them to be human is people are assholes. That is true, indeed. The more people, the more assholes. The more assholes, the more frequent you have to have them. Good morning, Frank. Good morning, sir. So, I hope that analogy about the wood pile made some kind of sense to you. But I think it is, even though that was fiction and it was written in a book, I still think that it is true today. I still think today that it's true that, you do have to, you want to be able to look back at your life and say that you added to the pile. You did not just take. So I hope that makes sense. I try to teach my kids about that kind of a concept and the way of living your life. If more people lived that way, if more people lived to where they want to help the community, they want to add to the pile, we would live in a better place today. I like it too, Zero. It stuck with me. And Michael Conley is a crime writer. I cannot believe, one of the things that stuck with me for my life actually came out of a fucking detective novel, but it's not a bad analogy, really. Just through a donation your way. Franks, man, thank you so much. Honest to God, you guys you're so awesome, Frank. I hope you know that I appreciate you, and I also hope you know that any of my content that I have, you are welcome to have and use. Whatever you want to do with it, take it. If you ever need me to help, with your ventures, please let me know. I'd be more than happy. Yes, Miss Butterfly. So, yeah, that analogy has stuck with me for a lot of years because it makes sense. Now, I know for a fact back in the day there were wood piles, so it's not fiction. It is true. Happy Friday, everyone. Yes, hit the like and subscribe. We got a lot of people watching already this morning. So if you are not subscribed, and not just on YouTube, when I say that, guys, I know y'all look and say, "Oh, there ain't a whole lot of people watching," but I'm live everywhere. X, Facebook, not Instagram, X, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. I'm live everywhere. So, yeah, Frank, I appreciate it, brother. You're a decent human, man, and I'm glad to know you. Like I said, whatever you need from me, I would be more than happy to do what I can do. Hang on, let me check let's see what's happening right now. So, last night, let me tell you guys a little story. Wires down. That's at 290 to Anderson. Let's see where that's at. So, I'm going to tell you guys a quick little story of what happened last night. So, I had an interesting night last night. We ended up at the emergency vet very late last night, and you're probably wondering why. Well, I'm going to tell you why. Hang on, let me see where this call is at. We ended up at the emergency vet in Leander, Texas last night. Doing okay, we can go there, turn on to Caddo Street. No, we'll go down to Breaker. Okay, we ended up at the emergency vet last night. Let's see. Hang on, what I missed? I was that person on X who won the contest on Alsher's page to request his prize. We donated butterfly. Yes, yeah, that was that was really awesome. Yeah, Bill is an awesome guy too. Yeah, I couldn't believe that guy did that, but he did it, and it was very awesome of him. And Bill, it's true to his word. He did donate the prize to my Venmo. So I really appreciate Bill. I appreciate every one of you guys. But let me tell you a story. Last night, I was getting ready to go to bed, and as I normally do, I always walk outside, check on things, make sure, it's time to go to, make sure everything is secure and it's time to go to bed, right? I walk outside, and right there on my front porch is this possum. And, you live out in the country, and you get used to possums being around. I mean, that's just what it's nature. But this possum was outside on the front porch. And I thought it was odd that this little possum was not scared of me at all. He was just chilling there. And I took a video of him, put him on X, thought it was cool. And then I got to watching him, like, something's wrong with this possum. Like, something is seriously wrong with this little guy. He was not barely moving. He was just kind of very lethargic, and then he started pissing all over himself. And so, long story short, my wife comes out. God bless her. She's a sweet woman. She is like, nope, that's it. We're taking him to the vet. And I'm like, this is a wild animal that just happened to walk up on the porch. Why don't I, if we're going to euthanize him, let me euthanize him. Like, I can do it. I carry a pistol everywhere I go. And, nope, that wasn't going to happen. My wife thought she could save this thing. So here I am with like 4 pairs of gloves on because I thought that the stupid thing had rabies. I end up picking him up. He doesn't give a shit that I'm picking him up. And I put him in a box and put a little towel in there with him. And off we go to the vet. When we get to the vet, doctor comes out and just reaches in and grabs this stupid thing barehanded, starts looking at him, and I'm like, Doc, what if he has rabies? And the doctor's like, nope, he doesn't have rabies. I was like, what? How can you tell? Like, what in the world? Now, apparently possums cannot get rabies. I didn't realize that, but the doctor told me last night that the possum is one of the rare animals that I guess can't get rabies. So the animal was at the end of its lifespan, and something was definitely wrong with her. She wasn't eating, she was barely breathing, so they went ahead and euthanized her. And he said she said, well, she's probably about 2, maybe 2.5 years old. She's an old lady. And I'm sitting there and I laughed. I thought that he was joking. And he was like, no, seriously, that's they only live, like 2 years. In the wild, it's like 2 to 2.5 years, sometimes not even 2 years. Their lifespans are very short. And in captivity, when they're kept as pets, they'll only live 3 to 4 years. And was like, well, that's crazy that their lifespans are that short. So I started peppering the doctor with questions about a possum. Did y'all know that a possum is a relative of a kangaroo, for one? They're both marsupials. And the doctor told me last night that they are closely related. It's like first cousin. You'll never guess what its first cousin is. A koala bear. Tell me that's not wild. A possum's first cousin, or second cousin, whatever, is a damn koala bear. So, I learned a lot about possums last night. If they get sick, they eat cat food too. Can't remember. If it was a raccoon, it'd be different. Yeah, I want a pet raccoon, I'll tell you that. I would like to have a pet raccoon. Okay, we're heading out to a wires down call is where we're headed right now. We're just a few minutes away. Yeah, I watch these videos on social media much like everybody else, and they have these cute ass little raccoons, and makes you want one, but most people don't realize that, you know, having a wild, like an animal. Alright, we're disconnected. Are we back? I think I lost all of my viewers. Did I lose them? Hell yeah, I lost all of my viewers from X. Ain't that something? You know, that just pisses me off. I hate this stupid system that I got set up in here. I really do. I am really not a fan of this system. Alright, well, we're going to head down to South Austin is where we're going to head. Screw it. I got to get away from the bridges. Alright, we're back on YouTube. That's good. Traffic injury, that's out on 130. Hazardous conditions, ESD 12. So one of these days you might at least try the scenario. I will. I tell you what, when I'm done working, like when I'm done streaming for the day and I get caught up doing all this other stuff that I'm doing, I don't know, man. I lose the patience to deal with I lose the patience to deal with this stuff, you know? May, you are near my old stomping grounds, born in Austin and moved at 23 years old. May, well, welcome to the channel. I hope you're doing well. Friday. It's Friday morning. Hope you're going to have a good weekend this weekend. Austin has changed a lot. How long ago was it, May, that you were here? You moved at 23. I don't really need to know your age, but has it been a while since you've lived here? Because if it's been more than 10 years, this place is a completely different place now. It is a completely different place. But if you are on here, if you're on X or YouTube, X, Twitch, wherever you're at, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, please. It definitely helps. 1980, yes, this place has changed a ton since 1980. Oh my God, you probably would have a hard time recognizing most places. This place has changed a lot. Shit, it's changed a lot since, 2013. It has changed a lot. Yes, sadly. Totally different world. I mean, a completely different world since 1980. Shit, man, when I moved here back 2010, sometime around there. It's a completely different place from when I moved here. And I mean completely different place. Nope, not well. I think some of it may be for the good, but most of it has just turned shitty. I mean, look, I love this city. This city is my second home. It's I've made this my second home. Home will always be up where my mom is at, but this is my second home. I love Austin. Even when I was on the streets, I came back here because I love this place. And now that I'm in a position to try to help people, I love it even more. So, I'm a subscriber on YouTube. You are an Aggie. There you go. Aggie. May is an Aggie. Yeah, but I love this city. I don't know if you guys can see downtown. I know the camera doesn't pick it up very well from this far out, but we're on the upper deck. We're right here by the University of Texas. About to pass the stadium, and this city has, yeah, it's changed a lot. So this is the upper deck where that stupid idiot was throwing rocks off of and killing people a while back. Breckenridge is right off to our side here a little bit. One of the original hospitals here in Austin. And then of course you can start to see this downtown skyline come into a better view right now, and check out the skyline as it sits today. It is a completely different world. You can barely see the Owl Building. I call it the Owl Building. It's the Frost Bank Building, but I call it the Owl Building. And you can see the Capitol right there, basically right in the center of your screen. The state capitol. There used to be, from what I heard, there used to be an ordinance banning any building from being taller than the Capitol. But as you can see now, everything is taller than the Capitol. But this is our city, guys, right there. The big city of Austin. It is a very cool place. The thing I like about Austin so much is the history. There's so much history in this area. There's so much history here, from the Texas Revolution all the way back to, when this was Mexico. Can't block the Capitol's view. The money got in the way. The money got in the way, that's for sure. But so much history here. Like I said, Texas Revolution, Santa Ana, the Alamo. I mean, everything in this area. Gonzales is not far from here, where the Come and Take It cannon's at. And, it's just it's a cool place. It's a very cool place. We'll jump off here and take a look at, this is what I call the PAB. I don't think the city calls it that, but the Police Administration Building. That is APD headquarters right in front of us. That was attacked during the 2020 George Floyd riots. Which is how the fence ended up all the way around it. Y'all remember the city before the fence, before they blocked everything off there? That is the same fence that is up around Joslyn Elementary. That is the exact same fence that they put around Joslyn, right there next to Sunrise. If that shows you anything about Sunrise. Nope, no banner. They usually have some kind of banner, a recruiting banner or something hanging up there, but not anymore. Not anymore. All these, this Rainy Street down here, pretty much right in front of us, these other big buildings that are here. Rainy Street has grown, and it's continuing to grow. It's a crazy area. More than likely a serial killer working down there. Well, I say more than likely. I mean, I don't know for sure, but definitely something happening down on Rainy Street. Definitely something happening. Then, of course, you've got the Circle Holiday Inn. The Circular Holiday Inn. Right in front of us. Hamburg was pretty good about keeping up similar ordinance. We only really have one skyscraper, which is part of the Congress Center, Hamburg. Yeah, they were really good about it here, too, about keeping the Capitol special. And like Mr. Foxtrot said, money got in the way after that, and that was all she wrote. That was it. I'm gonna be. They have a wreck. I was wanting to tell you guys I'm gonna be doing some more filming with Tyler Oliveira here pretty soon here in Austin. We've got a project that working on with him. It's gonna be a cool project, I think. I think you guys will like it. It surrounds homelessness, and I think you guys will enjoy it. Tyler is a he's a massive YouTuber, but he's a pretty decent guy. I like Tyler. When I very first met him, I did not realize how big of a personality he was, but I don't remember the boat races. Other than that, you can still easily make out our 7 main churches. We have some really cool old churches here in Austin too, for sure. Especially the Catholic churches. Some very cool old churches. Pretty cool old churches here. Boat races in Town Lake. Was it the those real fast boats like the jet boats, Foxtrot? Okay, where did my police radio go? Hang on.
We're at 20,304 Poppy
There we
Hill.
go.
There's also apartment numbers. Do you have an apartment number for us?
So yesterday, after the stream, the main stream ended, we had a pretty big fire start out off of 51st Street. It was actually a pretty big fire.
We're on scene. Squad 271 direct. Thank you, boys.
Engine 241, apartment 4502.
Let's take the politics from last quarter. There are old buildings in Austin. There is a lot of old buildings in Austin. There's some here in downtown. There's some very historic buildings back from. There's still a lot of buildings here back from the when Texas, before it became part of the United States, it was part of its own country. You know, Texas was its own country, just like the United States. And there's still a lot of buildings left from that time period here, you know, from when we were a country. There's still a lot of old buildings here. But, you know, it's nothing like Germany. It's nothing like Europe, where you have, you know, there's so much history in Germany. One of my biggest wants in life is I love history, especially history around World War I and World War II. One of my biggest, it's on my bucket list. The main goal I have on my bucket list is to come to Germany and to visit some of the battlefields out there and do some metal detecting. Not only metal detecting, but I just want to visit some of the old battlefields from World War II and just be there, you know, where our ancestors, our relatives fought and died over there. I just want to go and be there. I get this, I'm going to tell you guys this, and y'all are going to think I've lost my mind, but I have a coin here. Where did that coin go? I have a coin that I keep with me. It is an old, it's here somewhere. There it is. I have a coin that I keep with me, and it is a old Kennedy $50 that I keep with me. This one is from 1976, and it goes everywhere with me. It's in my pocket. It stays with me all the time, and I can hold this $50, and it just, you know, holding it and thinking about all the pockets it's been through, everything that it's seen. You know, it was around during the Vietnam War, the ending of the Vietnam War, you know, all of the different historical time points that this coin lived through. And being able to go over to the battlefields where World War II, where our ancestors and our family fought and died, just being able to be there and to feel what it feels like. I know y'all probably think that sounds completely schizophrenic, but when I'm covering crimes here in Austin, especially historical crimes, like let's say the servant girl murders, and I go to film in an area where the murder happened, it's like I get a weird feeling being there. You know what I mean? Like it's knowing what happened there. It's just I can't explain it. Y'all probably think I'm very schizophrenic right now, but I promise you I'm not. Jeremy, there's a good chance you'd need special permit for going metal detecting. Yeah, I would imagine. That's how it is here too, Library Fox, in Texas. If you do metal detect and you're in an area, if it was a historical battlefield, and if you find stuff, whatever you find there, it's illegal to keep them. Even if it's on your own land. So I would imagine you would need some pretty hefty permits, and it would be hard to get. I would just like to be there. I would just like to go and be there and be at the battlefields and just be able to feel it. But there's videos on YouTube where these guys go over to like France and those areas, and they're able to do some metal detecting. I would just love it. I think it would be incredibly awesome.
Medic 10610 Morado Circle. Medic 104, 33 hemorrhage.
Morado Circle.
Lucky Hit Road. Medic 18 responding 10610 Morado Circle.
Morado Circle.
Medic 18, this is an RA from law enforcement. You have 4 Adam units on scene. You'll be on Medic on North.
Let's see.
Medic 19 diverting 6403 Copperlily Cove, San North.
It's at an apartment complex. 10430 Morado Circle. That is up in. Let's see, that's up off of Jollyville. It's up at Breaker and Jollyville. Yeah, we won't make it up there in time. Well, maybe. What's 24 minutes to get there? No, we're not going to make it there. Man, I wished I was still up in North Austin. We would go over to that assault where somebody's gotten hurt. Shit. What am I doing here, guys? What am I doing here? Select all. Copy. Okay. We are... Where are we at, y'all? Man, they've already cleaned that out. Library Fox, I appreciate that. That would be awesome, but I just, with the way things are today, I would love it, but I just don't know if that's going to be, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. The world is tough right now. Hey, Library Fox, let me ask you a question. This is something I've always been interested in. In countries like Germany, Europe, France, the areas over there in the European area, you guys obviously see on the news and on the internet the shit that's happening here in America. The nastiness that's happening with politics and everything that's happening and race wars and gender wars and all of this stuff. What do people in, what do people in Europe, what do people in Germany think about what's happening in the States right now? Like, I mean, I know what people here think, but what do people think about what's happening in the country right now, in the States? Yeah, it's old world, that's for sure. I'm just interested, in what people think and how people outside of America and outside of the States, how they see what's happening here and how they feel about it. I have a friend that I was going to actually start a show with. She is up in Canada, and she tells me how people in Canada feel about us. But at the same time, Canada is basically kind of America. I mean, you know what I mean? It's kind of one and the same. Basically, kind of like Britain is kind of America. I mean, we're very close sister countries. But other European countries are not that way. There's just certain... I don't know. I'm just interested to see how people feel about this country and the things that are happening. And I don't know too many people out of Europe right now, so I'm going to ask you. There's such a divide between people right now in this country. It's very sad. Very, very sad. We have our own nastiness. The great divide is everywhere. TV is basically a reflection of of course, only the brainwashed still watch it. Same thing here, man. Only the brainwashed are watching it. That is 100% certain. You get the corporate media in this country being pushed by particular people to try and keep us divided. That's a good point, May. And I don't know if we are... I mean, it's easy to perceive that there could be a race war starting. I don't think that's true. I mean, I'm in a biracial marriage. I have a lot of biracial friends. I have no issues with anybody. I don't know anybody of different races that have issues with anybody. If you watch the news, if you listen to the mainstream media, they will keep you divided. But in my experience, it's just the same. We're just people living our lives. You know what I mean? My kids are biracial, and there's never any issues. I have black friends, white friends, Chinese friends, and we're all just friends. It's not like we look at each other and see a race. But if you listen to the news, they will try to... It makes it seem like there is a race war on. But I'm glad you pointed that out, May. That's a very good point. That is a very good point. But I think most people, especially nowadays, when we look at each other, most people do not see race. I mean, obviously you see race, but I mean, you're not... It's not controlling your emotions and how you feel about people. Storm Chaser Mark, good morning, sir. Thanks for being on. But I'm interested in other people's thoughts on that. I know most people could care less about race. This day and age, it doesn't mean shit. But maybe it's better to say it's a class war, maybe, or a war between. I don't even know what it's a war between, but I think. Let's see, May, the race war is not true yet. Problem is, the children growing up in TV world now are enough to make a new generation of racists who will fight. Yeah, that's a good point, Library Fox. That's a good point. I remember growing up as a kid, and there was never anything about race. You know what I mean? It was never anything about black and white and Mexican and white. I mean, it was just, you know, when you're a kid, you're a kid. You're growing up, and you know, you don't see somebody as different simply because of their skin color. But you're right. If you have a family that is racist, you're taught to be racist. You're taught that this race is less than that race. That is a good point, Library Fox. It is a learned behavior. It's a taught behavior. Butterfly, that is true. And that's the way it should be. I mean, naturally, that's the way it should be. You don't see a color. I base my opinions on how people treat me and how they treat others. You know, if you treat me fairly and treat me as a human, I will treat you fairly and as a human right back. It's just a wild time that we're living in right now, where it's hard to understand what's true and what's not. The media has shown themselves to be so dishonest, that I wouldn't believe a word they say now if I had to. You know what I mean? I trust the corporate media like I trust, a thief. Worry for my children and grandchildren and what they will endure. Yes, I do too. Yeah, I do too. My children are, like I said, they're biracial, and you know, I don't know. If we are truly growing into a type of a race war, I don't know. I'm hoping that you know, no matter what, I think people as a whole, most everybody as a whole, are good, decent people. And even though the politicians in this country and the media, they do try to keep us divided, I think most people are smart enough to see around it. I also think most people in this country and in the world have already seen that the media is so dishonest that you can't believe them. You know, my mother, she is an old school Democrat. She's like a John Kennedy Democrat. They listen to the news because they were under the... Don't lose the stream. Y'all bear with me one sec. Bear with me one sec. Hopefully we're back now and I don't lose all of my viewers on X. Come on, job. Yeah, don't trust, and somebody, I want to point this out. Twitter, X, right now. I don't think people thoroughly realize just how important X is at this point. X is the place for news right now, right? So when things are happening, like, the pager explosions and things like that, the news media is always 5 steps behind the news that's coming out on X. The news on X is real time, right? It's real time. And if you find a good source that you trust, you're going to know what's happening in real time. And it's because nothing is being, well, of course there is some censorship over there, but mainly it's not censored. It's like out here being on the street. If something were to go down right now on the street, I would have it out. I would have the news out within minutes. The corporate media, on the other hand, it would take them a while. It's important. X is going to become very important to this country before it's all said and done. I can guarantee you that. There is a massive homeless camp right back there. You guys that are on X, if y'all remember the video that I just put out about the massive homeless campfire, this is where it happened. And it's already re-inhabited back there. I was in there a couple of days ago. Right back there is where it happened. I need a bottle of water. I need a bottle of water. I need a bottle of water. And you know, without X, to be quite honest with you, Dash would not be a media company right now. We would not be here. The only reason we are here right now is because of X. And that is 100% the truth. The only reason that we are here right now is because of X. Yeah, X is a lot better than Twitter, man. I am so glad when I decided to start this channel a couple of years ago that Twitter was on the way out and X was already on the way in, because Dash would not have survived with the content that we put out. I mean, look at all the other social media platforms. They have demonetized me across the board. Everywhere except for X has demonetized me across the board. So, you know, it is what it is. Censorship is real in this country right now. That is 100% truth. If you're on other platforms, your opinions are being censored. And that's hard for people to come to terms with. You know, we have a First Amendment right in this country. I can say whatever the hell I want to say. That's one of the things that makes this country great, is it doesn't matter what your opinions are. You can say them. The politicians in this country, say what you want about them. If you're a racist, you can say what you want to say. But then you got places like we see these videos coming out, like over in Britain, in the United Kingdom, where people are going to jail because of their opinions that they posted on Facebook. And I don't know if that's happening so much in places like Germany. I don't really ever hear the stories. I hear them a lot out of the United Kingdom. But people are going to jail over there for posting, you know, hateful content. I left Twitter and just went back to X. Yeah, you were on. It wasn't too long ago that you came back to X, right? A lot of people left Twitter because of that. I mean, who wants to deal with that shit? You know, and I always looked at it as X was like, so Facebook was Facebook. And I always looked at it like X, so I was on Facebook first, and I spent a lot of time on Facebook. And then I started spending time on X. And it was like X was the professional social media. It was like going from the shit talking on Facebook was shit talking, but then you got over onto X, and it was like shit talking times 100. Let's see here. Elon said he wanted to make X the everything app. What WeChat is to China, X the old Germanic. Rune is the agenda, having it become... Yes, Foxtrot. I started following you on YouTube because I like seeing what's going on in Austin. Whoa, dude. Just followed you on X. May, thank you very much. Yeah, X is my main platform. That's where... so YouTube, I've had to stop really posting. I've had to stop posting the homeless content on YouTube because they were about to delete me. So if you are on X, then you're going to see all of my content. If you're just following me here on YouTube or Twitch or wherever, you're only seeing like 25 to 30% of the content that I put out. I haven't posted on Facebook in a couple of years. I really haven't either. I went full bore on Twitter until they suspended me. Then I came back with another account, suspended that one, came back with a third. Then Elon came along, and both suspended were unsuspended. So now you got like 8 accounts. See too many people. There is one of the assholes I mentioned. Yeah, there's, you know, one thing I've had to get used to as a creator, as a public personality, I've had to get used to assholes with opinions. That is for certain. I've had to get used to assholes with opinions. Not only just assholes with opinions, but threats. I get, for some reason, I get a lot of threats on X, especially when I start posting content that's a bit more controversial, like the elder care stuff. That is a little bit more controversial, and I pick up a lot more hate with that than I do of anything else. Let's see. Of course, the hieroglyph of X is made up of 4 hands, one pair gifting something to the other pair, which is usually... That's a great point, Foxtrot. Library Fox. Even had the old one that got hacked, remember. Is that still a thing, where accounts are getting hacked? Or did 2FA kind of get rid of that? Only do YouTube, Facebook, and X. Basically, that's me, May. Don't worry about it. That's basically all I do. I mean, I'm streaming to all the platforms, but that doesn't mean I really use them. If you're not being controversial, then why are you wasting your time? Well, I always tried to avoid the controversy because it was always my opinion that I needed everybody's support to deal with the issues that we have going on here in Austin between public safety and homelessness. We need both the left and the right to come together. So I tried my best to stay away from the controversy. And now I'm just like, fuck it, I don't really care. The elder care story is my coming out. Does that make sense? That's my leap into the controversial. And it's not making a lot of my, supporters happy that are more of your politicians type people. They are not very happy about that. That I posted that. I've gotten a lot of pushback from people that supported me because I could get a message out to basically everybody. I did have an audience that was left and right, and people are just not happy that I published that. And they're really not going to be happy when they see the video. You do what you do, and of itself is controversial. Everything else is NPC. Yeah, it's controversial. And you know what? Look, most people don't understand this, but I'll tell you. The content that I put out when I very first started doing it, I understood that it had to be controversial on purpose. Because to get these camps closed down, it has to make an impact. And what Dash tries to do is unorthodox, but it works. I think anybody that follows me knows that we can get these camps shut down, right? No questions about that. We can get these camps shut down. And the videos are controversial on purpose. That way they make an impact. That way it sticks in people's minds. Does that make sense? I don't even use it. I sometimes do use Instagram. Elon made the X symbol consist of crossing blades, so there's also division built in there. But some things you can't evade in the times we live in. And my guess is at this point Elon knows. I think Elon, a lot of people compare him to Howard Hughes. Very smart guy, a little too smart for his own good, and a lot of people think that he is going to be think that he is going to actually go nuts. Yeah, exactly, Library Fox. The stuff that I'm doing is controversial on purpose. 100%. And it works. The more controversial it is, the more impact it will have. But then I have some people helping me. Miss Kathy, rose-colored glasses on X. She's a researcher, top-notch researcher. She's very good at what she does. But she doesn't like the pushback from what I do. And she doesn't like, and I feel bad for her when people start pushing back against her and saying things because it bothers her. She's a very tender-hearted person, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. But if you're going to work in this field, if you're going to play this game, come on, dude. If you're going to play this game, you got to have thick skin, man. People are assholes, and they will beat you down if they can with their words. Do have an Instagram. May, I have one too. I don't use it that often, but I've got one. Butterfly, but I'm mainly a lurker. See, that's me, May. I'm on Instagram, and I do occasionally post a video over there, maybe like once or twice a month. But I'm generally just a lurker over there as well. I use these platforms when I'm doing my OSINT research. That I use the social media platforms for that. Would anybody be interested to see my research on the elder care guy? On the elder care? Hang on, I got to get out from under these trees. Hang on a sec. I'll pull up and show you guys how thorough my research is. One sec, y'all. One sec. I'm gonna show you guys something here. Let me get it opened up.
Control minute 20 is clear. Cotton White, Buda, and Red Station crew change.
Oh, come on. Why are you locked up? I'm opening a document I want you guys to see. One sec. Almost there. Okay, let me pull up my... Let me add a browser screen for you. One sec. Did I park? Am I dead now? No, I'm good. Okay, that's a browser. Hang on, I want to add a window capture.
Minute 271, you still your overhead on.
This is my research on Mr. Alacron, however you say his name. Oh, I can't do all that, but just massive amounts of information. And that's basically what we do. We go in and of research, addresses, phone numbers, email addresses, screen names. Relatives, you name it, and I've got it. And it in the information age, now that we have access to so much information, and pretty much all public records are public, they're on the internet. You can find pretty much anything nowadays. Okay, we gotta roll. I'm getting warm here. Is it glitching on YouTube? It shouldn't be. I'm streaming at like over 2,000 kilobits per second right now. Oh shit, I hit that fucking speed bump going fast. Are we back? All right, I'm gonna get out of this area. Y'all. I'll get out in the open. Sorry, I usually when I come to this area, the stream stays somewhat stable, but I guess it's not going to this time. You're good now. Okay, good deal. Sorry about that. That's what I get for trying to change up the stream on the fly. That typically never works out very well, right? Okay, let's see here. We're gonna go. Yeah. Well, guys, I do want to tell you that I am making changes when it comes to the internet. I think I'm going to get away from. I think I'm gonna get away from Starlink. I think I'm gonna. Oh man, I had to yesterday. I had to go buy a new tire yesterday. You want to know how expensive tires are right now? Holy shit! I had to go buy a new tire, and it pretty much ate. It's so stupid, man. Ford puts these rare tires on this car, and that lady over there is looking at me like this dude's talking to himself like a mofo right now. They put these tires on this car that are rare, that are not normal, and they have to order them, and they're hella expensive. And I don't get that at all. I don't get why they do that, but they do it. They put these rare tires on here, and it cost, for one tire, it was like $130, and then to have it mounted and installed and all that was ridiculous. Ridiculous. But here we are. So it's either that or, you know, you end up driving down the highway and have a blowout and end up in the concrete wall. I don't know why my tire ended up doing what it did, but it ended up bubbling. There was like a bubble that came up on it, you know what I mean? And it really sucked. Shit, I thought my whole suspension, I thought I'd messed up a CV axle, and I thought my suspension might have been messed up, but it was just a bubble on the tires, all it was. Scared me. It scared me. I'm gonna mess up your other tires. So anyway, what time is it? 9:52. We're gonna go for about maybe a little bit longer here, and then I have to get up to the guy up in North Austin, and I'm gonna drive this guy to Waco, and we're gonna check him in. If he's gonna go, which I hope he does, we've got to be there by 1 o'clock, and 1 to 1 they can check in like between 1 and 2. Guys, y'all say a prayer for this guy. For all of you folks that are God-fearing people, say a prayer for him and his wife, that they make the right decision to enter rehab today. You know, I like I said earlier, I spent a lot of time with them yesterday talking. Tried to tell them the story of me and being on the street and everything that I've been through, and how it is possible to pull out of it. It is possible to get back to a normal life. And I hope they make the right decision, because we all deserve a chance. You may not know what I'm talking about, but I'll tell, for anybody that is new that's listening. Yesterday I was in a homeless camp where a guy was shooting meth, and talking him through trying to get off the dope, and we found a rehab for him to go to. So hopefully when I get back there today, he still wants to go to the rehab and he hasn't changed his mind. So that's all I'm talking about. At this point, I've helped 2 people off of dope in the city. And again, you guys may think, a lot of people say, well, you know, what is that? That's 2 people out of 2 million people. You know, I mean, but again, if it helps one person, is it not worth it? You know? So, is what it is. We're all human. Well, I appreciate that, May, but I think most people are that way. I think most people, when it comes down to it, would, you know, I can't go this way. I think most people, when it comes down to it, would do the same and try their best to reach down and help. There's a saying that I like, and that is, the only time you look down on another man or a woman is when you're reaching down to pick them up. And that has stuck with me my whole life. My dad told me that. The 2 things that my dad told me that have stuck with me is nothing is too broke. Nothing is so broke that it can't be fixed. He told me that when I was going into homelessness. And the other thing that he would tell me, he's told me, is the only time you look down on another man is when you're reaching down to pick him up. And you know, that's those are pretty wise words. 2 is 2, better than none. You're right. But I hope my kids can hear those words again, and you know, from me, and live by those words as well. And I do believe that nothing is so broke that it can't be fixed. I do believe that as well. I think everything is fixable. But when I was going into homelessness many years ago, I treated my family horribly, and you know, that's how, you know, look, people always say that, you know, that I don't know what I'm talking about, whatever. But I'm telling you, my story is no different than 90% of the people that are out here on the street. We all had the same story. Most everybody that ends up homeless has somewhat of the same story. And, yeah. But I'm just glad that I was able to change my life early, especially before my dad passed away. And my dad, you know, finally got to see me with a happy, healthy family, and so, yeah. It should be, Butterfly. You talking about the not looking down on someone? I think that's such a good saying. I don't know where he got it or where he heard it, but I believe it. I do believe it. Anyway, enough of the sad stuff. But you know, you guys, most everybody that follows me and watches me is here in Austin, except for Library Fox and May. I'm not sure where May is from, but I think they were saying earlier that they're not here anymore. But anybody that's here, anybody that needs anything, you guys know how to reach out to me. And I'm always around for anybody that needs help or needs a hand or needs anything. All you got to do is reach out. Hammer down. What's up, brother? It's a good saying, isn't it, Butterfly? It's not a bad way to live your life, you know? And you know, it's applicable to, it's applicable. Is it applicable or applicable? Applicable? It's applicable to a lot of things in life. Storm Chaser Mark, the poor possum did not make it. We took the possum to the vet last night, and the poor thing was in bad shape. The doctor did some exams and did this and did that, and it was a miss possum, Oh, that's right. You're an Aggie. There you go, May. The poor possum was on its last leg. She was not doing good. She's an old lady. And we ended up, she was suffering. The doctor said that she was suffering. And we ended up euthanizing her last night. And thankfully, the doctor only charged us like half price to have her euthanized. So yeah, it's good stuff. I mean, the doctor cared. They have at that vet, they have a wildlife expert. There's a doctor that deals with nothing but wildlife, not pets. And that was the doctor that helped us with Miss Possum. So, Mark, I didn't know this before last night, but a possum's lifespan is only like 2 years, 2.5 years max. Like, they don't live that long at all, and I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that they didn't live that long. Hammer down, I do not own a possum, sir. This possum ended up on my front porch last night, on my front steps. Ended up on my front steps, and she was in bad shape. We could tell she was in bad shape, and my wife has such a tender heart. We ended up taking the possum out to the vet hospital, the animal hospital there in Leander. That veterinarian, it's a hospital. It's open 24/7, 7 days a week. And here's what's cool, I didn't realize, but that veterinarian at hospital, they care for most of all of the police canines in this area. Daughter works at Animal Rescue for future reference. I didn't know that. Well, this poor thing, guys, I mean, she was, this little possum, she was on her last leg, man. Even when I was picking her up and putting her in the box, she just didn't care. You know what I mean? She was on her last leg. 2-year-old, yeah, so possums only live like 2.5 years. The doctor told us in the wild, like anywhere between 1.5 years to 2.5 years, that's their lifespan. And in captivity, if you have them as a pet, they generally only last to about 3 to 4 years old. Vet about your own. I'm telling you. Like, hey man, while you're here, can you have a look at my joint over here? I got a bit of an issue. Yeah, it was tough seeing that poor animal suffer, and I struggled between euthanizing the possum myself or taking it to the vet, and my wife was just not having it with me doing the euthanasia myself. So, and here's the other thing. We thought the possum died. I put her in a box with a towel so we could take the thing to the doctor, and I opened the box and was looking, and I was like, Tila, the possum's already dead. And we were like halfway to the doctor, and we walked in, and I gave, I was like, look, I think the thing just died. Well, there's a reason that there's a saying called playing possum. They're very good at appearing to be dead. And I did not realize that. Shows how smart I am. But the possum was playing possum. We thought she was dead. And she wasn't. The wife wanted a second opinion. You got that right. Well, the poor girl was, she was kind of peeing on herself and just kind of dragging along. She was in bad shape. And she was definitely suffering for sure. Coming up on our porch, she may have just been looking for a place to die. You know what I mean? You know how animals go and try to find a place to die? So, see, even animals know where to get help. I'm telling you, it was so heartbreaking to see that poor animal just suffering like that. And, I carry my pistol everywhere I go. I could have put her out of her misery, but of course, at that time of night, there's no traffic, there's nothing there, and my neighbors, I mean, my 40 caliber probably would have, it's as loud as a howitzer at that time of night. Probably would have scared the shit out of everybody in my neighborhood. At 40 caliber, it's made for concealed carry. It's got a very short barrel on it. It's an M&P 40 caliber. And that thing sounds like a freaking howitzer when you shoot it. It is loud, extremely loud. But for that little possum, 40 caliber might have been overkill. Well, obviously it would have been overkill, but you know what I mean. It would have done the job. For sure. Anyway, I don't even want to think about that. But you know, with wildlife like that, when they're in that shape, that's the only proper thing to do, is put them out of their misery. The wife wanted a second opinion. She's like, nope, you are not shooting this thing. She may be able to live. So, yeah. Anyway. It's a Gen 2. You need a suppressor. Man, have y'all really ever heard? So the M&P, like I said, it's compact. It's made for concealed carry, and that short barrel on that thing, man, it is it is extremely loud, man. Like I've shot it without earplugs, and it is a huge mistake to shoot that thing without earplugs. I mean, it'll make your ears ring for like the next 12 hours. Mr. Mom 310. Yep. Yeah, I love it. It's a Gen 2. I love the gun. When I bought it, I think I paid like right at $500 for it. It was brand new. And that's not bad. That's not a bad price for that gun. I was carrying an M&P 9mm, and it had a 13 round capacity, 13 round with one in the chamber, so 4. But with the 40 caliber, it only had a 7 round. It's 7 rounds with one, and then one in the chamber, so 8 rounds. But I mean, 7 rounds of basically a 10mm, you can take care of business with that gun. The only thing that I really do not like about it is it's so small and compact. It doesn't really have a bad recoil, but it is not very accurate either. You've really got to have good muzzle control to stay on target. You know what I mean? So I like the stopping power of a 40 caliber, but the muzzle control on it is tough. 4 inches better. My 9 is 3 inch too small. Yeah, I think this 40 caliber, I think it's a 3 inch barrel. I think it's a very small barrel. I keep a set of Walker Razor amplified hearing protection on my nightstand. Yeah, it's not a bad thing. I mean, if you have to use your weapon in the house at night, it's going to tear your hearing up for a while. Let's see. I missed a chat. Let me see what it says here. Once on vacation in Denmark, we got a really cheap deal because 2 days of the week we would have NATO maneuver. Half a mile away, they shot howitzers, which shook the walls. We played war games. Man, I'm telling you, so when I moved down here, I lived in Copperas Cove for a bit. Because of my job, and that was right there at Fort Hood. Our house was about a mile away from Fort Hood. Fort Hood is the largest installation, from what I gather anyway, the largest military installation in the United States. And they had the tanks that they shot, the howitzers, and it would shake our walls too. And we're a mile and a half away, and it was still shaking our windows. Butterfly, yep, got to keep practice. Didn't know you could carry in Denmark. Yep. Can you? Denmark, I mean, you know. I don't use ears, like I don't use normal like hearing protection. I just use earplugs, and like when I'm at the range, I just use earplugs. People that go out and shoot without earplugs, I've always thought that they were absolutely insane. Like you shoot that first round without hearing protection. You shoot the first round, and I mean just that. You know that sound that comes into your ears right afterwards. It's crazy, man. So anyway, I do love my pistol though. I do. With this pistol, it's small enough I can do the appendix carry with it, which is my go-to carry position. I do like, so I had a gun I gave to my brother a while back, and I'm gonna tell you right now, y'all are gonna think I'm crazy, but this was my favorite gun that I've ever had, right? Would you like to know? It was y'all are gonna think I'm absolutely stupid, but this gun was so awesome and so accurate, and it would run without a jam forever, and it was a Taurus 9mm. Cheap gun, but it was one of the best running guns I've ever owned, for sure. Just a Taurus 9mm, man. And I gave that gun to my brother. I don't even know if he still has it, but my brother didn't have any guns. I gave him that 9mm so he would have one, and then now he's a gun nut. He's got all kinds of guns. My AirPro's amplified and it allows you to hear normally. See, that I like those. I like those. I've heard about those and read a lot about them. And then I think, if I'm not mistaken, the way it works, right, is when the noise gets above a certain decibel, then the AirPro kind of kicks in, right? But yeah, I just keep a set of earplugs in my pocket. Hey, yeah, hammer down. Let's get together. I will message you my cell phone number for sure. AirPro's amplified. Oh shoot! You know what? I just remembered. That's my name. Yeah. So anyway, guys, I am headed up to the Walnut Creek area. It is 10:11. I'm gonna go see if I can grab this old boy and see if he's ready. And you guys, like I said, say a prayer for this guy. Make sure he makes the right decision for himself. I was talking to him yesterday, and it's like, look, it's not only about you, but you got your lady out here with you, and y'all are both jacked up, just completely jacked up on meth. And it's not, you can't live this life. You don't see old junkies, and there's a reason you don't see old junkies, and that's because they either clean up or they die, one of the two. Nobody goes the distance on drugs. And so I'm gonna go and make sure that this guy has. I'm hoping, man. I'm nervous that he's not gonna make the right decision. But again, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And it's up to him. It's up to him. So, yeah, Butterfly, Storm Chaser Mark, Hammer Down, Mr. Mom, May, Killer Carla, Library Fox, Zero Foxtrot, all of you guys that's on here. Hammer Down, Frank, if you're still on. Thanks everybody for being on here. I will update so here's my plan. If I get him in the car and we start heading to Waco, I am gonna do that drive live. Obviously I'm gonna get his permission, but I would like for you guys to hear his story, an impromptu, just kind of, here's my story. We're on our way to rehab, and it helps people. These stories of redemption and healing, it helps people. It helps people, have the courage to do it themselves. So if you guys see me going live here in, an hour and a half, then I do have the old boy in the car, and we are headed to Waco, and I want you guys to hear his story and what's happening. I think it's going to be not only good content, but I hope it'll help other people. Folks, I appreciate everyone being on here this morning. You guys are amazing people. Love you all, and I will see you guys in a little bit. And I'm hitting every